What would you do if someone's grandma stole your balls? It's this kind of philosophical question that the series Dandadan is trying to answer. All jokes aside, Dandadan is about to blow up, with an anime coming from Science Saru, the studio that brought us Ping Pong the Animation and Space Dandy, and probably the most hyped up manga since Chainsaw Man. We're in for a big deal. For those of you who don't know, Dandadan follows Ken, aka Okarun, and Momo, who are two high school students in Japan, surprise, surprise. And they're both kind of obsessed with their own little weird thing. Momo's obsessed with spirits, Ken's obsessed with aliens, and they both think the other is full of shit. They both go out and try to prove the other person wrong, and then you could probably guess what happens next. Personally, I think that hook is so cool. The immediate genre meshing makes the story really unpredictable and a lot of fun, which is not surprising because it comes from Yukinobu Tatsu, who is one of Tatsuki Fujimoto's former assistants on Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch. Like, this guy really does come from the Fujimoto school of batshit insanity. I find myself at least once per chapter thinking, how the hell did he think to draw this? But listen, Dandadan is not just a cool gimmick. It's not just cool aliens and cool spirits with nothing else to offer. What makes this story really stick and why I think it's going to be a big deal is the chemistry between these two main characters. I don't know about you all, but most romances in shounen anime make me want to chop my dick and balls off and become a eunuch because they are so cringe, so badly written. That's why everyone ships the dudes in shonen with each other, because these authors cannot write a woman to save their lives. And compared to all of that, Dandadan is a huge breath of fresh air because the banter and chemistry between these two weirdos is super fun. It feels really authentic to actual teenagers having actual banter. And the characters are given as much care as the crazy shenanigans in the story, as they should be. And then you throw in a sprinkle of trauma bonding because, as you can imagine, they're going through some wild shit. And you have the foundations for one of the most dynamic duos that I have seen in a manga for a very, very long time. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, it's kind of cute, man. They got me blushing a little bit. I will say there is a little bit of uncomfortable fan service at the very beginning, and I was kind of skeptical after the first couple of chapters, but it becomes clear pretty quickly that this isn't a story that is being written and drawn to just put high school girls in weird exploitative positions. It's putting everybody in weird exploitative positions, and there's plenty of cheeks to go around as you get further into the story. But okay, it's got a cool hook, cool plot, great characters. What else you got? Let's talk about themes. In my opinion, what makes a story go from good to great to actually amazing is the themes and how it explores those themes through its characters and story. Now, on the surface, Dandadan is clearly a coming-of-age story with some genre twists, but what makes it really interesting, in my opinion, is how it explores sexuality. I'm going to delve into some mild spoilers for the first few chapters here, but nothing too crazy. If you haven't guessed yet, in Dandadan, spirits are weirdly obsessed with people's genitals, and the first spirit we meet is called Turbo Granny, and the first thing she does is steal our main character's dick. And then possesses him. And dealing with that is a big part of the first handful of chapters. Which, yeah, obviously on the surface, very goofy, very kooky concept for a story. But if you think about it a little deeper, it actually does get kind of interesting. You see, as we move along in this arc, it's revealed that Turbo Granny is not just stealing dicks because haha funny penis. This is the spirit of a matriarch, an old woman who has been patrolling Japan, going to locations where young women were hurt and killed, and then attacking people who trespass into those locations. And in that context, her stealing the genitals of a male trespasser into a place where women have been preyed on so much in the past, it takes a pretty dark and kind of somber tone. And then you go forward a few chapters and you get to the story of the acrobatic Silky spirit. And yeah, I don't know where he comes up with the names either. Maybe him and Fujimoto have like a dartboard that they're using. I'm just imagining that they're just throwing darts at random words, putting them together, and then writing stories about it. But anyways, Acrobatic Silky is the spirit of a sex worker who was abused and taken advantage of, and generally dealt a pretty shit hand in life. But she kept going and put up with it so she could take care of her daughter, until even her daughter is taken away from her. After that, she is understandably overcome with grief, and with nothing left to live for and nothing left to love, she takes her own life. There's actually a clear connecting thread underneath the emotional core of these storylines, and it's pretty powerful if you think about it and let him take you on this journey through all the crazy hijinks and then the sudden gut punches of these stories. And this is the level of writing that makes a story actually last. It's not just a flash in the pan. It's not often that you see a story that can be this fun and this balls to the wall and unpredictable, with great pacing, by the way, which is pretty rare in shounen, let's be real, while balancing genuinely great characters and interesting themes that it explores in a way that only this crazy weird story can explore. I'm probably about 50 something chapters into the story at this point, so I'm not even caught up, but I honestly can't wait to keep diving into it. And I'm so excited for the anime. I'm so excited for the wider community to fall in love with this story as well. And yeah, I have other ideas for videos I would want to make about Dandadan, so please let me know if you thought this was interesting and fun to watch. Let me know how you feel about Dandadan as well. And hopefully now you know why Dandadan is going to blow up.